I'm so ready to go to sleep. I don't know why I thought this would be a great moment to start a reading vlog. I already started 2 reading vlogs and didn't finish them, or I just watched the footage and hated my face. But I'm not gonna do it now. I'm just gonna edit this blindfolded. I don't care anymore. So, what am I reading? Okay, it's a Monday. It's the start of a new week. You know I love starts. You know I love new beginnings. I love new beginnings. That's why I love the morning so much. Today, I read 20 pages of Pretty Unhealthy by Dr. Nikki Stamp. Why our obsession with looking healthy is making us sick. Oops, just hit my nose there. I just wanted you to see Fievel's face so we can, all 3 of us could fit in the frame. The book, me, and this little shit. Okay, I wouldn't have necessarily picked this up on a normal random Monday. Okay, now it's just the 2 of us. That's alright. But I just finished 2 incredible fiction books that I absolutely loved, and really I didn't want to immerse myself into another fictional realm right now. I thought that reading a non-fiction would be the greatest idea. Dr. Nikki Stamp is a surgeon, but she only talks about health in general in this book. And it's interesting, and I am quite obsessed with looking healthy and being healthy, but I still smoke. I don't drink though, but I do smoke, which is something that I do want to quit. Yes, baby. He wants to give up smoking as well because he always steals my cigarette from my mouth. So he really cares about me. That's his way of showing it. So I read 3 books this month. That's the cigarette speaking. I read 3 books this month before I picked this up. Just Friends, which was absolutely horrible, one of the worst books that I have ever read, and honestly I can't think of a worse book. Like, it doesn't come to mind. I think it is actually the worst book I've ever read. Off the top of my head, I can't think of another book that could surpass that title that Pham, unfortunately, quite honestly deserves. It took me 2 weeks to read Just Friends, which is such a long amount of time. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I spent 2 weeks reading that. But I just couldn't get through it. It was like the book didn't want to be read. After that, I read Osamu Dazai's The Setting Sun, which was great, and honestly, I always gravitate towards Japanese authors. I think it's because there's something really absurd in a lot of Japanese novels that are really popular right now, and they're so well written. One thing that I disliked, Fievel, he's playing with my camera. Let it go, baby. One thing that I disliked, it's another thing that I discovered to be a kind of a theme in basically most of, I can't talk, I don't know why. In the majority of the Japanese literature that I read, if there was a woman who narrated the book, I felt like she was younger than she actually was. For instance, in The Setting Sun, Kazuko, the main character, is 29 years old. And every time she mentioned that she had a divorce or that she fell in love with someone, I was like, wait, what? You're 12. You're 12. It's just because of the way she expressed herself. Because I felt it was so childish, and the way that she was absolutely in love with her mom too. But anyway, that's quite a human experience as well, and I do appreciate that, and I do appreciate the power to be so vulnerable. Yeah, anyway, the next one that I read is The Sirens of Titan by Vonnegut, and I read that in 2 days, and I fucking adored it. I loved it so much. I did read Slaughterhouse 5 2 years ago, and I didn't understand much of that book, unfortunately. Yeah, so I made up for that. I made up for reading Pham's book. Honestly, I tried to film a video about it, and I filmed for about an hour, and then I deleted everything because I realized that I wasn't saying anything new. You know, you can find a bunch of videos on her book already, and honestly, it doesn't matter who she is at all. When it comes to readers just reading and giving their opinion, at the end of the day, it's just bad writing. You know, if you want to know more about it, just watch some videos because everything is so evident. I just don't want to talk anymore about that book, honestly. It just took up so much of my time that I'm not willing to give it anymore. Anyway, I'm on page 40 of Pretty Unhealthy, and I am planning on reading some of this tomorrow. He's just the cutest. Do you want to say goodnight? Ist es die Schnappte Bunna? So I'm doing this thing where I write down words that I don't know from the books that I read. And I have about 100 words here. And right now I'm gonna be making sentences with some of them so that I can remember them better, hopefully. It's 7:15 a.m. And after this, I'm gonna take Edgy out for a pee-pee poo-poo situation. And then I'm gonna feed the animals. And I don't know. Remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. Edgy? I went to the grocery store. It's a cocktail, no alcohol cocktail with blueberry. I tasted it. It's good, but not my style. A drink that I got for myself is this one. It's a ginger ale. It's supposed to be kind of a ginger ale, and it doesn't have sugar, so that's really cool. And when I was in the store, a guy came to me and asked me where I got it from, and I told him. I actually took him to the shelf, which I felt like a worker there, and at this point I could be, who knows. I got Edgy his breakfast. He eats wet food in the morning. I found these mint extract oils that I've wanted for so long, and they were actually very cheap. Everybody's starting to wake up. Everybody's asleep, but everybody's starting to wake up now. I got this panna cotta thing. I've been craving panna cotta for so long. And I got some cream to make panna cotta with. We just ordered takeout. We're ready for it to arrive, maybe in half an hour or something. And we're watching Trainspotting. And I want to try out this thing. Okay, I like it. I think it's time for a little update on Pretty Unhealthy by Nikki Stamp. I'm getting so offended. There are many things that are wrong with me that I'm realizing. I understand everything that she's saying on a practical level. Oh no, on a theory level, sorry. Like theoretically, I get what she's saying. When it comes to like to actually feeling the things that she's talking about, no, I don't wanna. This book is about how our obsession with looking healthy is killing us. Our obsession with losing weight, our obsession with diets, our obsession with everything that relates to us looking healthy and skinny and whatever. So I'm obsessed with that. This book is destroying me. And I think I'm gonna get to the half point of it and put it on pause and pick up a fiction just because I actually want to look forward to reading in the morning. Yeah. Okay, that's thumbnail done. I feel weird because, as I said, we're getting takeout and we're watching Trainspotting, and I feel like I have to deserve that time. I haven't really done that much today. I read just a little bit and wrote a couple of words down. Well, I also did some laundry. I also went to the grocery store. I also made the bed. I also took Edgy out. I also washed the dishes. That's kind of it. But I feel like I have to have something bigger done before I get to actually relax. Anyway, I'm probably not gonna film for the rest of the night because I'm just gonna edit this video. That's kind of gonna be it for right now. I guess I'll see you tomorrow morning. Hopefully, I will have already picked up another book to read. Probably it's going to be the second book in the Sherlock Holmes series or the second book in the His Dark Materials series. I feel like reading a book from a series because I just know I'm gonna fly through it. I just watched Trainspotting. I know I said I wouldn't come back until tomorrow, but something happened that I could just think it's a very big coincidence. So the thing is that I got so angry while watching this movie. And I told myself, look, it hit hard. So I'm gonna take some time to girl out a little bit. I watched Ivana Kristan. Why did I say it like that? Ivana Kristal with an L. And I literally thought I did not want any kind of train spotting in my life.
Trainspotting, I think it's one of Adam's favorite movies.
Really, this movie fucked me up. It fucked me up. Let me show you the books that I got 2 weeks ago, I think, or a week ago, from a discount bookstore, which is basically a bookstore that gets books that aren't really sold. It sells these books at a very cheap price. Pretty Unhealthy is a book I got from there, and it was less than $1. I also bought a journal that's not here with me, and I'm not gonna go get it. But it looks something like this one, but it's just bigger, which I don't appreciate hardback journals because they're more uncomfortable to write in, but it was cheap. Kurt Vonnegut's Sirens of Titan, which was about $5. The original price was £9. I already went through it, told you about the book at the beginning of this video. Okay, now you can see me and also hear me better. I also got Breakfast of Champions by Kurt Vonnegut. Kurtie is my best friend now. We get along so well. And this is gonna be the third book that I read by him. So we're getting really acquainted here. I got Demian, which is one of my favorite books. I love this book so much. It's so short, so beautiful. I recommend it to anyone. It's about friendship, love, spirituality, which Hermann Hesse writes a lot about, war, and just a bunch of friendship, and also solitude and obsession. And what do you want? Oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna take a little break because this guy wants some loving. Yeah. He knows that he's not getting attention right now, and that's what he always does. The Glass Bead Game is a book that I have not read by Hermann Hesse. I think I've read the majority. Well, no, I did not read the majority of his books. But this book is the one that was most recommended to me by my teacher in high school. She was a Romanian literature teacher. And she used to mention this book all the time. And because Hermann Hesse has become one of my favorite authors, I have to read it. It's gonna be the biggest book that I read from him. So I'm super excited. The cover is beautiful too. Then we got What She Ate by Shapiro. This is a book I know nothing about. It's basically women talking about food, which I like. I always like that. I love that. And today I started my day watching, for some reason, a recipe for a pound cake. And the last one is The Listeners by Jordan Tannahill. I would go there. It is about this woman that hears a humming sound that nobody else seems to hear. But then she finds somebody who hears the same sound as her, and then they find a whole group of people who hear the same sound, and basically they come up with this conspiracy theory after it. It sounds really cool, and this is such a cool cover. You know how much I paid for this? Less than $2. Less than $2.
I just got home from the bookstore and I just changed.
I realize I haven't showed you my books. These are all my books. I need to organize them a bit. Finances. Honestly, I can't wait to organize them, but I wanted to make a video while organizing them, but I felt too much pressure. I gave up on that idea, so I think I'm just gonna organize them without filming. It's one of my favorite activities to organize my books. I used to love it when I was a kid. I used to organize them on a monthly basis, either by color or by author or by genre. Didn't matter. I just wanted to organize my books. But I worked in 4 bookstores since then, and all I did was organize books. Well, not all I did, but a big chunk of that was organizing books daily. And honestly, that was enough for the next 10 years, is what I would say if I wouldn't love books. But I do fucking love books, and I can't wait to organize them because they're my books. I'm not organizing any bookstore's books anymore. I'm organizing my books, baby. Something that I do not like about this whole situation is the fact that there's too much space. I know that is so privileged of me to say. The thing is that I have been living on my own for the past, I don't know, how many years? 6 years at this point. That is crazy. Well, not on my own, but away from home, right? Away from my parents. I'm not living with my parents anymore. And in every place I've moved into, I never had enough space for books. I always made enough space wherever I was, but there were books everywhere. In the living room, on the kitchen counter, next to the bed, in piles. I made towers of books. And I could never really organize them the way I wanted to because they were scattered everywhere. But now I got the space. But the problem is there's too much space. There are 2 big rows. 3 big rows. So 3 rows are full and 3 are empty. So I divided them by using this fake ivy in here all around the space because I didn't want to feel any pressure of having to fill up the empty space. And it worked. I'm not feeling the pressure anymore. But what I want to do is actually be able to find the books that I want to find in here. And for that, I need to organize them. It's not going to happen in this video, but sometime soon, you're going to get to see it and you're going to enjoy it with me. The criminal and the victim. He was really sad he had to sit on the chair, so I let him sit back there. Are you happy now? Good morning, it's 10:40 a.m. I woke up pretty late. It was 8:30. I really wanted to wake up really early today, but some days it's just not. That's quite a big improvement, I would say, to accept the fact that some days it's just not. I listened to a podcast while cleaning the fridge. It's beautiful. I made some panna cotta last night and it didn't solidify at all. So this morning I added some gelatin and we're gonna leave them here for the rest of the day. I'm gonna sit myself in bed and finish this book. Honestly, I've been really wanting to finish Lena Dunham's Not That Kind of Girl. I started it 2 years ago. 2 years ago I started that book, but I really just don't want to think about this book anymore. The thing is that I am a reader that is able to read 2 books at a time. I love reading 2 books at a time. It's my favorite hobby, but only if both of those books are really enjoyable. You might be asking, so why don't you just DNF this book if you really don't find it that enjoyable? Well, it's because I think it has brought me some value and I want to continue up until the end. Maybe it's going to bring me a little more value. This is what happens when you try to boil eggs with a cat in your arms. Yeah, and he's just having the time of his life, taking a shower, and I have to clean up the mess that I made because I was loving you too much. I have just finished reading Pretty Unhealthy, finally. It took me a pretty unhealthy amount of time to finish this, but now it's done and I will write about it a little bit in my reading journal. But until then, let's have ourselves the panna cotta. Let's see if it slides right off. I think I'm gonna have to eat it directly from here. And this is blueberries. It's quite gelatinous, more gelatinous than I would have liked. Cheers. It's not sweet almost at all. It's just a little bit sweet, but it's more bland than anything else.